Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beckett. I'm going to do my November 2021 book haul. So I did try to curb myself, but that doesn't really work. So I do really well for a week or two and then a lot of books come in. Anyway, I bought 16. Oh well. So I'm just going to go through them. I've kind of broken up into genres. We'll start with classics. I bought a new copy of Dracula by Bram Stoker. I have a really old, ugly one I bought in college that I just despise. I did listen to this, re-listen to this on audio just last October, and again, just adored it. So I was like, oh, I must get a good copy. So I got one of these, or the Penguin English Library copies. I have a stack of them, so I thought I'll just get another one of those. I like them. And then I also got a Penguin classic for some short stories of his by Bram Stoker. Sorry, I can't talk today. Dracula's Guest and Other Weird Stories. So I read Dracula's Guest from the library. I got the library book copy like this, but it was like sticky and stuff on the where the tag was, and I hated holding it. So I just read that short story, which is sort of really like a prequel chapter to Dracula. Might have been the first chapter at some point to the novel, and it was published after his death, I think, by his widow. But there are several other stories in here. The Lair of the White Worm is definitely one I want to read, and some of the other stuff. I just want to read more of his work because I enjoyed Dracula so much. And again, as a reread, because I've read it before. And then one I bought recently for read-along on Instagram was Christmas at Thompson Hall and Other Christmas Stories by Anthony Trollope. So this didn't go so well for me. I read only the first, well, I would say I read 2/3 of Christmas at Thompson Hall. That story, I did not care for it. So this might have been not a great buy for me, but it's a cute little hardback and has other Christmas stories in it. So maybe some of those will be in the read-along that I do every December on Instagram. We'll see if this was a buy that I probably didn't need to make. Anyway, we'll go into that. I have one mystery, which is also, I think it's my only translated work, which is Shiishi Yokomizo, The Honjin Murders. So, I just know that this is supposed to be like a classic fiction. It's from, it takes place in 1937. And somebody's wedding, and I think somebody dies before the wedding or something. I don't know. It was originally published in 1973. So anyway, so it's like a historical murder mystery. So anyway, I'm trying to, I've started to get quite a few these from Pushkin Vertigo, these Japanese ones. I've gotten this one, and I've gotten, I think, one other one, and I think I have 2 on my wish list. So anyway, I want to try some. Again, I love Japanese literature, and I'd like to do some mysteries. I've not been reading mysteries much recently, so I was trying to get some. Sorry, I am rambling. I did pick up a used copy of Sins of the Angels by Linda Portevin, something like that. I think it's the first book in the Gregory legacy, and I think this has to do with angels, fallen angels, and a homicide detective. And she has some... Yeah, she has some secret lineage, and then he's a fallen angel. He's a hunter. I don't know. Anyway, so I like paranormal. No, I think this is more urban fantasy. Yeah, this is an urban fantasy one. So I think it's like a series that follows those two. So we'll see. As I said, I have like 50 first books in urban fantasy series. I need to start reading them. But I bought another one because it was at the used bookstore. And I bought Certain Dark Things by Sylvia Marina Garcia. I read, what was the one I read? Oh, I can't find it now. I read the, oh no. I know I read one of her other books, which is blanking out. And they're not going to put, okay, Gods of Jade and Shadow. Sorry, I knew what it was. It was something like that. So I did enjoy it. I didn't love it. I have a Mexican Gothic on my e-reader, but this is the one I'm really drawn to because it's an urban fantasy in Mexico City and it has to do with vampires and things. And I want to read this so bad. This looks like a really thin book, but the print is so little. little. We'll see. Anyway, so I don't know anything else beyond that, and I do want to read more of her books. I just want to give her more, because she writes in different genre, like different parts of the fantasy genre, like all different, goes in all different directions. So I want to read that one. I picked up The Vanished Queen by Elizabeth Campbell. This is a book that I was watching when it came out last year in hardback, I believe, because I think it's a standalone. I'm almost positive it is. But it has to do with, I think, a world where the queen went missing, but nobody really knows what happened to her. And then I think her son, something happens to him and gets involved with other people that he meets. And then I think it's like kind of trying to figure out what happened to the queen in the past. I'm not sure, but I've heard good things about it last year. I just never got around to it. And it came out in paperback. I pre-ordered it. So I got it. Anyway, we'll see. I know, a book that I've read is The Witch's Heart by Guinevere Gornichek. I love this book. This book is a great Norse retelling from someone who is seen as a villain in some, or, you know, seen as a witch in Norse mythology. And Loki's in it, and so is a lot of the other gods and things. And it just was heartbreaking and good. It was just, it was a roller coaster ride for my emotions, but I just love the characters in here, and it went in ways I didn't expect. I really, really enjoyed this, and I'm looking forward to my reread of this, because I read it from the library, so I got it when it came out in paperback. A book you guys have seen that I've been trying to read, I just haven't had time yet, or been in the mood, is Brothers of the Wind by Talat Williams. This is the prequel to Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn and The Last King of Ostenard series. So don't read this unless you've read any of those books, because it won't make any sense. This drops you in the past with this, when what the Scythi, or what kind of the elf kind of people of this world, and they're dealing with a great black worm that came down from the north, and it's like a dragon worm, like those kind of things, and it's two brothers who go to investigate, and it's again, it's so good. It's just, I need to be in the right headspace for it, and I just have not been. So I've only read like 30 pages, 40 pages. I've read 40 pages, but I am going to read this. I was looking forward to this, because again, the next book in The Last King of Ostenard doesn't come out until like July. So I need to read that. And I got the second book in the Drowning Empire series, The Bone Shard Emperor by Andrea Stewart. Full disclosure, Andrea Stewart's one of my writer friends. We've been friends for over 10 years. So I'm so proud of her and so happy for her. So I'm buying her books as they come out. I have her hardback from the first book. I am still partway into that. As I said, it's hard for me to read my friend's writing, just because I've known her for so long, and I would edit stuff for her back when we did writing groups. And so it's hard for me to read her stuff without the editor brain on. So I'm still working on that. Anyway, so I'm still partway through this. I'm hoping to get done with the first book 1 by the end of the year. Then I'm hoping to pick this up next year before the third book comes out later in the year. This is Empire, or it's a fantasy with an island empire kind of thing, where the empire is failing. They have enemies on all sides, and some very magical things are happening. They have things called constructs, which are run by bone shards that every person in the empire has given up to the emperor, and he has these little pieces from their skull behind their ears that uses them, and there's magic involved in how that works and how it runs the constructs and what happens to the people. And then we're following Lynn, his daughter, who has had a memory loss, so he doesn't want her to be the heir because she doesn't remember most of her life. And she's in competition with her foster brother, who, might not be blood, but he is, he remembers things, even though both of them got sick at the same time, kind of thing. So, and then there's Jarvis and his adventures, because he is a smuggler and things that happens with him. Anyway, I do want to get back to the series. There's a whole cast of characters. It was really interesting. as I said, it's hard for me because I have to turn off the editor brain. It just kind of clicks on when it's her books. It's not her fault. But it doesn't matter. I'm going to keep buying her books. So I would recommend them because the first book was really good so far. I've got to, but anyway, I'm biased. Then I have some historicals. I have a couple of mass markets. One of them I bought was Julia Quinn's Because of Miss Bridgerton. So I finished the Bridgerton series earlier this year. I thought I'd try the prequel series. So I think this is the first book in that. I think it's called I can't remember. It's called the Rokeby? Rokeby? I don't know how they call them. Anyway, so I think that the first book is, I think it's, I think she's neighbors with the Rokebys, this one, Bridgerton, and I think she's I think she's supposed to be the sister of the father in the Bridgertons who we never see because he died before those books started. So I think that's what it is. I'm not positive, but anyway, she is friends with 2 of the 3 brothers, and I think we follow I think all the brothers are what we're following of who marries who. I don't know. We'll see. I just bought another one. I don't know why I have so many historical romances to read, but I liked Julia Quinn enough to try another series and continue. Anyway, I also got a couple Lindsay Sands. First one I got was like $1, which was The Husband Hunt. So I think this is, I can't remember. This has to do with a woman who I think she's trying to get some guy to marry him, but she doesn't care. I don't remember how it was. I don't remember. I think she's supposed to try to get married. Anyway, the point is it doesn't, and the guy has to help her out because something, even though he doesn't want to get married because of his family stuff. I don't know. Lindsay Sand, again, I've read her the Argonaut Vampire series, which I'm trying to get back into. But I have read a few of her historicals. Usually they're pretty funny as well as romantic. So I'm hoping that's a good one. I don't know. Sorry, I'm rambling here. The other one I bought was My Favorite Things, a Christmas collection. So this has, I think, 3 novellas in it. So I think they're all Victorian. Or maybe they're Regencies. I don't remember, but they're all Christmas ones. I'm hoping to read this month. I thought 3 novellas I could probably get done. So, and I like Lindsay Sands, and I thought, well, there you go. We get historical, romance, and Christmas. I don't know. We'll see. I picked up the next book in the Mackenzie and Mcbride series by Jennifer Ashley. I've read most of them. I still have about 4 books to read. 4 or 5 books. I probably have 5 books. This is probably book 6 that I'm behind on. This is book 12. Is that right? Yeah, so this is book 12 in the series. I think I've read at least 8 or 8. I think I've read 8. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, but the point is, this is one of the main characters, actually, from the series. It's one of who has their own book, and they're featured throughout the other books. This is their son. So it's many years later. So it's I don't know if we've reached 1908. So we're crossing out of the Victorian era into Edwardian. So these will be, again, I'm not this far in the series, but I bought a copy because, again, I'm supporting her as well as I want to. That's a series this year I want to catch up on because she keeps writing books and I'm behind. And again, they're mostly they're historical romances. And then I got From the Wreck by Jane Rawson. I've been meaning to read this since Simon Savage, of course, raved about it last year, year before, I don't know, but I finally got it I finally got a copy of it. Most of the time I was looking for it was either too expensive or it was gone. And it's a historical fiction where I think a man is on a shipwreck, I think it's off of Australia in 1859, and something saves him. Somebody saves him, but he doesn't know what it was, and somehow it might be something kind of more mysterious and supernatural than he thought. I don't know. But I've heard good things. I've been always wanting to read that, and I finally got a copy. And then the last thing, I got The White Company by Arthur Conan Doyle. I've been reading the Sherlock Holmes series. I'm finally getting farther into that series. I'm hoping to complete it next year. But I did read that he stopped writing the Sherlock Holmes series so that he could write historical fiction books. And I've read a couple of them. I read, is it The Lost World? Yeah, that one. And I've read, oh, did I read any more? Oh, maybe not. But I wanted to read one of his historical fictions to see what he's talking about. And I think The White Company is one people have talked about. It was published in 1891. And it's an adventure story about the 100 Years' War between 1366 and 1367. So I'm curious to see how he does historical fiction. Again, I've really only read The Lost World and Sherlock Holmes. So I kind of want to see that. And so I thought I'd pick up this one. This is the one I'd heard the most about. So we will see. Anyway, so that is all the books that I got in November. Yes, I bought too many. And I don't know a whole lot about most of them. So if there's any books here you think I should read sooner rather than later, let me know. Again, I'm very much mood reading at this point and I'm all over the board. But hey, it might strike me if you tell me that's the one I need to read. Let me know. And did you guys buy anything good this month? Let me know about that too. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye.